The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Welcome to GameShift. Tonight on the show, we have Hearthstone, Stranded Deep, and Art of the Park.
We're also running Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, Call of Duty Modern Warfare, Battlefield 1, and Dishonored 2.
Punch in, it's GameShift time. Kevin is back tonight. We also have many video games that we're looking at, and the first one is Call of Duty Infinite Warfare.
Looks great.
So, yeah, like we were saying, it's floating around in space.
Yep, they've
look at, I love this part. I love that you can do stuff like that.
Poor guy has no helmet.
There's always these things where there's a grappling hook, and it doesn't seem like they remember there's a grappling hook, because certain things will happen that you could use the grappling hook, and the guy never uses it. But
oh well.
This is pretty decent where you can do this.
It definitely looks fun. Yeah, they've taken the Call of Duty, which is, I mean, it's a great franchise, and now they've taken it to outer space. I know a lot of people are weirded out by this, but I mean, it's still Call of Duty. It looks gorgeous.
I always say it's the next logical step that they could do without just repeating the game over again and saying, oh, just run around and have battle on Earth. This was a little bit of a different direction to go in.
So there's a lot more space to work with, or?
I was saying there is restrictions, like when you fly in certain areas, you can't leave the battlefield. Like the old Call of Duties, when you ran too far, it would start to gray out.
Yeah.
It does that. So it does gray out. The areas seem actually smaller. Plus, you're walking around in ships most of the time.
Okay.
So it's a lot of corridors. But it's quick, 60 frames per second, 1080.
Nice. Oh, your gun's floating. That zero-G, that's fun.
Reach in the room here, and
yeah,
bad guys all get sucked out.
Oh, poor guys. I hope they were wearing spacesuits. If not, it's going to suck to be them.
I don't know if they were.
Well, that guy's floating there, so I'm guessing not.
And I'm kind of floating, but I have the jetpack that sails me around the room. I like these parts where like it shows you typing, and like all the first person. It's a good little touch for first person when you see things like that.
It gives you an in-game map there.
No, not so much an in-game map. There's not. You can't really get lost.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, because like it's too restricted.
Gotcha. Everyone's still floating around.
That would be like my only complaint of the game is the restrictions on levels, and it seems like it's pretty straightforward.
Good. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the graphics look gorgeous again, and they have definitely done some wonderful things with this. So
you have to like hack doors and stuff like that as well. So there is like a little bit of hacking that's involved with like setting the circuits correctly and getting them to connect right.
Oh, gravity.
Yep, we're back. It's fallen into gravity again. So you can see, like, this is another corridor that I'm running down, and it's just it's a lot of that. So that's why, I mean, phalanges, I have 10 of them,
but
and I only gave this one 8.
Not every game can be a 10, you know?
And it's okay. It's in the level where it's still a great game. Yeah. It just has its issues.
And nothing wrong with that.
As far as length goes, it wasn't that long. I mean, I probably beat it in 2 days. Usually take me like 5.
Yeah, that's
because
kinda
I
quick.
work and I have to come home and play a little bit. It took me about 2 days to beat the game.
No, it's not too bad. A little quick.
But multiplayer, I'm assuming, will be a little bit better. So give it a chance.
We'll do.
Give it a chance.
Up, we've got Hearthstone here. It's a collectible card game online. Kind of interesting. It's free to play. You don't need to put any actual money into the game, which is nice. But you can make your own decks. You can buy packs with the in-game money, the gold there in the bottom corner, and you play live people from around the world. And it's definitely a lot of fun. Something good for everyone from teen up. I believe it's rated teen, But I wouldn't be opposed to having your 8-year-old or 9-year-old play this, because you learn some strategy and how cards interact with one another, and you learn how to plan things as well. You build your own decks, and it's definitely a lot of fun. There's several different classes you can play. I'm playing a priest here, and you get to build your own deck and see how it goes. It's definitely fun. Have you ever done any of the card games?
I was telling you, I've played this on the phone,
Yep.
but it's not the same because you don't have the big screen.
No, it's really hard.
It's difficult to read.
Yep.
So I played through like a couple of the learning.
Yep, the tutorials.
Tutorials, and I couldn't beat any of that. I got to the real game, and then I couldn't win.
Yeah.
It was like, I can't see.
It's definitely tough, because when you're playing against real people, I mean, if they've got the skills out there, they're going to do the things. Yeah, this is definitely interesting. It tends to rank you with people who are your same skill level, so it makes it a little easier.
Yeah.
But that being said, it's a very friendly game. You don't really have any problems with people griefing or anything like that online. There's a very limited chat system. You're only allowed to greet people, thank them, say they did a good job, stuff like that. So there's no real griefing in-game, which makes it really nice and very friendly for everyone.
I wanted to come out for the Xbox. Make
Tell
it
Blizzard.
more widespread.
Tell Blizzard and see what they can do for you.
They make console games.
They do make console games. Diablo's out there, but
Yep.
This one's constantly being updated. They do new cards for the game every few months.
Yeah, and this is the highest rated card game out there, like in the competitions.
For
and all that.
online,
So
yeah, it is.
If you get good at it, you could be in the competitions.
Yep,
and
they had a
compete.
championship just a few months ago, and there's real money involved when you get to that level. It's frightening what you can make.
You can watch that on Twitch. They broadcast
Yep.
that all the time. So I've seen the game. I love it. It reminds me of Magic,
Yep.
kind of, and I loved Magic when I was younger. So I want to play this more.
Yeah, it's
So
a little bit different, but still a lot of fun to play.
yeah, the powers that you have and the ability where if you actually have a card standing between you and the actual, so you'll see there's the actual target that you actually want to take out. That's
Yep.
how you win, taking out that main target.
Yep.
And you can put your cards in the middle, and you can put guards on the cards.
Yep.
That creates a whole nother level to the game.
There's definitely a
so
lot
your
of
front
thought.
cards are the more important ones, but you want to protect your boss.
Yep.
It's really cool. I really did enjoy that part of it. So there is a ton of skill.
There is a ton of skill. There's a lot of thought, and deck development is definitely a thing. I'm still getting there. It takes a while.
Yeah, there's so many different ways to play it.
And there's so many cards and so many different ways they can interact.
Exactly.
It's just,
and you can, like you said, you can purchase with real money as well.
you can if you choose, but you don't have to,
Right.
which is nice. I've never put a dime into this game other than the in-game gold.
And you have a respectable deck.
I don't know about that, but
Yeah.
it wins every now and then.
Yeah.
Allows me to purchase more gold. So
Yeah, I just wonder sometimes with the ability to purchase the cards, if you can purchase like crazy, like powerful cards.
it's still a pack. So
Good.
Yeah.
Well, up next we have the Modern Warfare.
Yep.
Which is a remake of the old Modern Warfare, and it's the first one. And of course, the old one got a 10, and I'm giving this one 10 just because it's definitely looks way better.
Yeah, the graphics on this are very updated, and they look absolutely gorgeous.
I forgot to mention 9 phalanges, you said, for Hearthstone.
Oh, yep. 9
So-
out of 10 for that.
That
Sorry
was
about
my
that.
fault. But anyway, Call of Duty, this one, I would play it through again. I actually did
Night
play
vision.
it through again.
Yep.
So, and that's the thing with this one. They put so much time and effort that there's more gadgets. There's night vision. There's like, heat sensor and or heat goggles, stuff
Yep.
like that. You get different things. Laser sights, like the weapons. Everything's so different, and just this was their first shot at it, so it was like more important than anything else that they did
Oh,
this.
that looks like it hurt.
I know. I try to catch them around the corners and use the knife a little.
Yep.
I was off.
That's a whole lot of lasers. Looks like a little bit of a trap there.
Yeah, I'm trying to shoot just in case someone's standing in the open, but I should be able to see them. But now I got to figure out how to take them all out. They moved.
Yep.
And it does still have, I still gave it a 10, but it does still have the original glitches from the original game, like getting stuck in doorways constantly, or your guys, one of them, like, you try to crouch behind like a tank or something, and your guy will be there and he'll push you out, and then you're in the middle of gunfire. And
yeah, AI is still not there yet.
Yep.
Makes it fun but frustrating.
Exactly, but it's just it's worth playing through if you've never played it, which maybe some people haven't because there's younger gamers out there, and I didn't let my kids play Call of Duty when they were younger, but all their friends were, so I'm sure they played it too. And you got to just make your own decisions on it.
Yeah, that's definitely an individual parent's responsibility.
Yep, exactly.
Decide to for appropriate.
I waited a while before they could play it, but it's teaching them a lot because these guys are heroes, and like any time you can get a game that actually makes them appreciate what people actually do go through in war. I think that's a bigger concept than just, hey, it's a bad game. It's, war.
Well,
this is stuff that really happens. And you get emotional, you figure it out. The game is just phenomenal. Call of Duty 2 with the whole running up the beach,
storming the beach at Normandy.
Storming the beach at Normandy. I learned more from that than I ever learned from Normandy in like through a history book. Because you're actually like seeing what happened and you appreciate it more. So I think there should be more of that. It's more educational than it is like, oh, this is just seeing people get shot. So anyway, that's Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
And then we've got another early access game from Beam Team Games, Stranded Deep. Have you ever seen Castaway with Tom Hanks?
Yes.
Picture that as a game, except the island's a lot smaller and there's a whole bunch of islands. Like I said, it's still an early access game, so this is being updated constantly. There are glitches, and they are slowly working through them, but they have resolved a lot of them. In the very early versions of this game, the sharks that attack you could actually swim through the island and attack you while you were walking on the island. So that was not particularly fun. But with trying to survive on this, you've got to find food, you've got to find water, you've got to build a shelter in relatively quick time because you will die of thirst quicker than you'll starve to death, and then the elements will kill you as well. It rains in the game. There's day and night cycles. Right now, you can't get rescued because it's still early access, and they're still kind of working the bugs out. But it is definitely a lot of fun, and quite an addicting game. I've got almost 150 hours into this thing, and they keep updating it, and occasionally they break the save game, and you've got to start over again.
So you can build your shelter?
You can build a shelter just like that.
Can you bend trees over and stuff?
You can't bend trees over yet, although they did just put furniture into the game, which is nice. You can have a chair and a table and shelves, and you can't sit in the chair yet, but that's okay. They're working on it. Apparently they haven't figured that out.
It's a pre-release, so.
It's definitely a pre-release.
It's got good graphics for a pre-release.
It's got very good graphics, and you can build fire to cook your food, and there's the ocean, and there's a whole bunch of things you can do. And
I want the volleyball.
That was actually that was actually an Easter egg in the game for a while. They took that out while they try and fix the bugs again. But Wilson was out there. So was the FedEx packages.
Nice.
So it was kind of interesting.
So is that how you get to the island?
You get to the island through a plane crash. Yeah, you're on a private jet, and it kind of teaches you a couple things, and then it crashes, and you've got a raft. Fortunately, you start next to an island, and it's not gross. Don't worry about it. Why you have to skin fish to cook them, I don't know. You used to just be able to cook them on the fire. Not so much anymore. I don't know what they're thinking, but I don't design the games.
Yeah.
Whatever. You pick up the meat, you can put it in the smoker. Hey, you're cooking fish. That is the strangest looking fish steak I've ever seen in my life. Throw it on the ground, pick it up, and put it on the stove. Again, early game, they're trying to figure stuff out.
So you have to put it down on the ground first?
Yeah, you can't just take it from your inventory and pop it on there.
They'll fix that, though.
Eventually, yeah. But
that's funny. Put it on the ground.
Just take the sand out of the meat. You'll be fine.
The sand's cleaning it. Somehow.
Yeah, like I said, they've got
furniture. You can make a raft.
You can make a raft. You can build your own raft, which I've done a couple times. I've tipped it over a few times, which is not fun. Pop the chair up. But, I'm facing backwards, so I'll pop it down here, and then I'll pick it up and rotate it around. and hopefully put it on the platform, which manipulating these things in-game is rough. I'm going to push it off the edge. Don't do that.
Don't drop
jump
the
up there.
chair.
Yep. Go up, pick it up. There you go. Good boy. And hey, the chair is down.
So the survival element's there.
Survival element's definitely there, and it gets foggy, it gets rainy, you can't see where you are. So if you're in a trip between islands and it gets foggy or it starts raining,
You might not make it to that
you might not
island.
make it to that island. You might be stuck out there and die, which is no. I just threw the table
They
off.
should have
That's
left
not
the
good.
sand sharks in.
That wigged
Go
out
for the
so
la-
many people.
Go for the land shark.
They were out there. That was definitely interesting. I can't pick up this table to save my life.
Like it's almost like a Bear Grylls game.
That might be interesting too.
Survive on the island.
I am not going to do anything he does.
Eat some
Battlefield?
beetles.
Yeah.
Eat some beetles. Yep, this is Battlefield 1. This is another first-person shooter for the holidays.
Yep.
And this is just a part where you play as different war heroes. So each war hero has his own story, and you go through it, which one of my favorites was actually not even this one. It was called The Runner.
Yep.
And that's probably one of the best ones. But this one is focused on getting your tank through these little villages, and they keep on putting stuff up that block your tank. So you have to go through, you have to run out here,
Yep.
because you can't leave, obviously, a tank unattended. And most of your guys are going to stay with the tank because, if you fail, then the tank can't get through.
Yeah, I can't get anywhere.
And the guys are just going to be sitting ducks. So you got to get through. I'm just taking out the guys that are trying to
Nice
take
explosion.
my tank out. They don't even know it's there. They don't know I'm there.
Yep.
They can probably see it now, but because it's on fire. And the interesting thing about this game is, you can repair your tank because you're the mechanic.
Nice.
So it's just a little wrench going like
Hey,
that.
you put the
but-
fire out with a wrench. Good job.
Exactly. I've got skills.
Apparently so.
So then every once in a while, they're like, this we can't get through this. You're going to go around and scout the area and
Yep.
take care of these guys up on the hill 3 or 4 times. This is just a small part of the game, but
Quit. No, don't.
I don't
There
know
you
why
go.
I did that, but
Ignore the game menu.
so this is like, the graphics in this game, I love it. It's incredible. It's a little bit more grainy.
The
than
lighting
like,
effects are nice.
Exactly, and you got fog, you got different scenarios, all have their different things, like when you're flying in the plane, the sun will kind of blind you.
Yep.
So yeah, it's just, they did a great job, and I actually think this is better than the Call of Duties because the multiplayer there's different types of multiplayer, but the one that's like the standard that everybody seems to be playing is almost like a tug of war with war.
Yeah.
So like you go through, you win, and you take over the territory, and you keep taking over the territory until the time limit's down. You take over all the territory and you
Yeah.
win,
Nice.
which is pretty awesome. So you get a good team, and I think it's very equal. It's equal playing field. When they do that, it makes a better game.
Yes.
I don't like Call of Duty because people can sit there, learn the map, learn where the spawn points are,
Yep.
and they just kill you right when you spawn in.
Oh, I've been griefed more than once on that.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Which I don't, the new Call of Duty kind of fixed that a little. It's more of an equal playing field,
Yep.
but the more you play, the better you get.
Yeah.
Most of the time. So,
True of most games.
but it's a classic game. They went
Yep.
back World War I with these tanks. You can tell it's an older tank, older guns. Takes longer to load the guns. I don't know. It's just very interesting that they went in this direction,
Yeah.
and that's
Nice.
pretty good.
Good game. And for the baseball fans out there, there's Out of the Park Baseball 17 is out. This is a management simulation for baseball. You can pick any team in any league, actually. They're licensed with Major League Baseball and the Major League Baseball Players Association, so you can actually run your favorite team with your favorite players, or you can create an all-new fantasy league. What I really like about this is you've got to manage not just your team personnel, but you have to manage salaries and trades. And they've come a long way with the AI on this. It won't make really bad trades anymore. It wants to get the advantage for the team it's doing as well.
Nice.
So the trades can be a bit rough. It's a very realistic simulation, and managing the money is tough sometimes because depending on the owner, you only have so much of a budget. But it does make it a lot of fun. You've got the draft. You've got all aspects of baseball, including setting your ticket price. And if you set your ticket price up high, yeah, you get more revenue, but there won't be as many butts in the seats.
Right,
so
right, yeah. Families
you gotta,
will not come. It's
that's
too
right.
expensive.
You've got to weigh things against each other. So gives you a rating. You've got the whole farm system in there as well, so you can raise your players from the draft all the way up to the major leagues and see how they do, see if they can get into the Hall of Fame.
So you gave this how many phalanges?
This one I gave, I believe, 8. It's a really good game, but there's always a little bit of room for improvement, and the trade AI is still not quite there. It's really good, but there's still some issues, and the personalities with some of the players gets a little weird sometimes. I've made it into the playoffs with the Red Sox 3 times, and the last time I had 3 injuries in 3 games that just devastated me, and just that was it. We were out.
But it's more like you were saying. It's got good pictures of the field and stuff like that. But most of it's text and trading.
It's more of a simulation.
Management,
Management simulation. There's not really that much graphic-wise.
But still a good game and
still
worth
a lot of
while.
fun.
So
yep.
I mean, if you're a fan of like fantasy baseball, you would love.
You probably
this
love
game.
this one.
Good.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And lastly, we got Dishonored. This is getting big news.
Yeah, and I really do like this game. Just the graphics, it involves a lot of. It's a more slow-paced game, obviously, than like Call of Duty. Still first person.
Yep.
And Bethesda makes
story
this.
there.
It's so it's going to be great. A lot of story.
Yep.
You gotta figure it out, and this is just part of it. Where like you gotta sneak around a lot. So you gotta wait until you could see. I'm trying to skillfully wait until this guy's all by himself. Yep. And then.
There's a couple options. You can play a few different characters in this, can't you?
You could play the 2 different characters that I know of. I don't know if at the end maybe there's going to be an extra one, but yeah, you can play as the princess or the same character as the first one. Mm-hmm. And so you could play as either of them. Now that's her father, she's the daughter, and now she's the princess because in the first game things happened. You know? So
the commercials have been great for this.
Yeah, and the graphics, I always say they are good.
They are gorgeous.
I gave it 8 phalanges, not a 10, not a 9, only because the control issues that it has.
Little weird?
Little tweaks that could have been
Quirky.
made. Like, you're walking around and you'll just hit something randomly out of the blue. And I just, it gets a little aggravating. But it's definitely worth your while. It's a game that you will like.
It still just came out, so maybe they'll fix that in an upcoming patch.
Right, yeah.
That'd be nice.
So, but I mean, it's a great game.
It definitely looks fun. Again, the graphics are beautiful. They have come so far with graphics over the last several years.
You can pick everything up pretty much, and then it tries to see. He saw me, so you see the little. Now he's gonna start. Probably coming back down the stairs a little,
Yep. Okay, you've been sighted, and you're trying not to get dead.
Yeah, so I go in the corner here, and I hide for a second. Now, this is what you have to do in the game a lot, is hide and hope that they don't find you.
Yep.
It makes for interesting gameplay.
I can imagine you sit there for a few seconds going, okay, is he coming? Is he coming? Is he? No, he's not coming.
In the first part, I got a little aggressive in the first part of the game, and I ended up like doing okay. So like even if they see you, you have a chance.
Good.
They don't just say, okay, you're done, you don't have a chance.
Yeah.
So it's like
he's heading back up the stairs again.
You can play that way. I know. I just want to see. I want you to see how you sneak up on them and stuff.
Carefully.
Interesting. Yeah. That's the only weapon I have right now is that little knife.
You would think with the large blood stain on the carpet, he would notice that something's wrong, but...
Yeah, but the thing is, he's still in the house where he just went through and killed everybody. So some of these people aren't the ones that I killed. They're kind of mixed in there.
Gotcha. Fair enough.
Yeah, so, I mean, that's a great game, and I'm probably going to play the first one through so I get the whole story. I'd never finished the first one. I like to try and finish all the games that I have, but...
Yeah, makes sense.
My pile's getting awfully big.
Yes, it's that time of year where the games start piling up.
Stockpile.
Yeah.
That's what happens when Christmas comes. I'll buy a game, I shelf it, and I'm just like, I'll get back to that.
Then you'll get to it during the year.
So now I'm playing. I'm probably gonna have Mass Effect 2. A little bit of that. I'd like to show some of that next week. What else did I have? I have the snowboarding one that I talked about. Mm-hmm. I'm going to have some of that next week. hopefully a couple more things.
Yep. Not sure what we'll have next time around, but we'll definitely have some PC games and maybe even some news. We'll wait and see. I got to see what's coming up.
So we'll see you next week on GameShift. Catchphrase.
The preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.